Hey everybody, welcome in this new episode of Juno Live. Just checking as always if the stream works and then we can get started. Alright, looks like we are live. So yeah, first of all, I don't know if you see the news last week. I've finally released a new version that introduced the monitoring function. So it's kind of a short release note, but it's actually a huge release. And we have all these new functions that we have seen in the last two episodes, which means that now if you sign up, you're gonna have like a new tab here, monitoring. There is the new navigation, and if you go there, you can get started, select which satellites or analytics you want to set up if you want a default configuration and so on, enter your email and so on. And then you can enable monitoring, which is kind of nice. And I already have got some of my satellites that were topped up automatically, so I know it works out. But when I deployed Friday, I actually I had some issue when I deployed the observatory. And we have the same issue in the application that we develop on a weekly basis. So I thought that we can fix those two in our app, right? Yeah, but maybe before that, just a short note, like what's the observatory? I don't know if I have that in the architecture. That's a good point. Yeah, you see here Juno as the console, which is the one you use to administrate your mission control, whatever, wallet and so on. And you also have a CDN, which is the one that holds the WASM module used to upgrade your modules, which is nothing less than some satellites, by the way. And you have the observatory. And the observatory is a smart contract, a canister that I have in the main repo too, that basically just transmit messages. So it's basically what we do if we have if I sketch that, when you when you sign in the Juno console. So here we have the console, blah blah blah, and then you get through the console you get a principal, and then you have access to your mission control, right? And then let's say that mission control do the automatic monitoring, you know, like once every hour it gonna checks if your, let's say, satellites has enough cycles or not. Then if it notices that it doesn't have enough cycles, then it's gonna top up. And then if you want to get an email, what it does is here we have that observatory. And what it's gonna do is here it's gonna say send me an email, and this one gonna try to make a HTTPS outcall to the web to word, right? And the web to word here gonna send you an email, right? And that one is basically not just a proxy, but it grows as just being a proxy, right? All right, And when I did that, I was like, yeah, it took me 1 hour to set up, and I had a bug. So let's have a look. I'm gonna open our our weekly app here. I'm gonna go on main. And I will also open Juno so that I have the source code that I fixed, right? So remember, we were able to send emails. So we have also that function that says if I go here, we also have that function that here, if in our app, if we register an email and then we share a link to someone, if that someone answers, then we should get an email, right? Which probably is the case. I'm not sure. Here, you see, received an email. But the thing is, it works out, but in the sense that, yes, this has worked out, or here, but actually when we do an HTTPS outcall from the blockchain, what actually happens is that this call here is replicated, for example, 3 times. And then there is an answer that comes back, and all the answers are compared, and only if those answers matches, then the response is really certified, because otherwise it's just some query that maybe functionated. And when you get the answer, you are maybe interested in the body of the response, but there are lots of fields around it that are maybe not that interesting. I don't know, like, for example, if there is like a timestamp in the header and you consider that it's not that relevant for what you are doing, then you can trim that. And it's what we try to do in our app, but we actually forgot to use it. Or I forgot it. So if we go in the application, here we have our satellites, and here we have the HTTP request, right? Let me zoom. Tac. You see here I prepare a request, and then in the request I say transform none. However, when I use the response, I have declared the function transform here that I even expose on the canister, but it's not used here. So basically we have set up everything to say, when a response comes, I want to transform the response to strip out everything we don't need, but we never told the chain that we want to use that function. Yeah, shit happens. So what we have to do is actually, if I'm gonna look at what I've done here. So what we have to do is here in the request, and this transform context. So return HTTPS data. So we're gonna simplify a bit things here, and HTTPS transform context is this. So we're gonna declare a function param transform, and we add this one here. So in the request, we say that we want to use the transform, and this one gonna be transform context, and transform context get function. All right, and the function is given by a principal, which is our smart contracts, our satellites, and the name of the method that we want to use to transform. And that name is actually this name here, you see, transform, right? And because we do that, then you will know that when the response comes back, that it has to go through that function that is here, which will call this transform function, which in turn will clean up everything we don't need. And when I was there, I was looking at the Internet Computer main repo, and I started looking for some transform function, you know, like I went really like bulk, like I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just had a look like this. And when I did so, I actually noticed that, at least in CKBTC, I think it's in CKBTC, let me, ultimately I forget the repo, yes, you see, here I mean the Bitcoin KYT, and they have the param transform, right? And in this repo, where am I? Juno, all right. In this repo, they should also have a transform response that does this, right? Yes, you see? They also have that transform function, and here they do it kind of more, a more simple solution than what we have in our example. They return the status, they take the body, but they actually don't care about what are the headers. And yeah, it's not wrong. I mean, it's not that important for our use case too. So what we can do is, except of having that big function that strip headers that we actually don't get, just that we kind of copied them. We can remove the stuff and do that. Here it's just because I renamed it. So we're gonna remove this. There. And it's way simple, right? We just have a response and we care about the status and the body. And last thing is, when I do it, so if we open our satellites in the dashboard, you see now we should have a function transform somewhere, no? No, maybe not, maybe because we did not deploy it then. I'm not sure, maybe there is some cache. Anyway, this function isn't that important actually. I mean, like, even in the dit file, here we have transform. It's not something we really gonna use ourselves. So what I learned too is what we can do is there is like an annotation hidden that actually allow to say no, I just don't want to display that. Right? So let's put that and make a pull request. Fix HTTPS outcall transform. Right. Fix HTTPS outcall transform. All right. Here. Okay, we are good. So we have the function so that we provide a transform function for the request. We have simplified everything here by just stripping out all the headers. And here the param transform is the callback for the request where we say we want to target ourselves and that particular transform function, right? Plus here we are setting up hidden. Super. Ooh. Okay. And once that's done, last week we have developed a template for our emails, and I said that I wanted to redeploy the proxy so that we can try today, which I did. So we're gonna finish that other pull request. So I'm just waiting for the test to finish, and then we're gonna sync our branch. Okay, so that was our I'm gonna add those to main once we got this one. Alright, so I know it's alright, so I'm gonna speed up things. So I'm gonna do that, and I will just briefly chef this. Gonna go to main. And here I'm gonna see those. As you see, the difference is that now our transform function is gone because it's hidden, right? Nice. Okay. Transform hidden. And I will synchronize our branch here. All right. So if we go to our templates, if we have a look of what we have done, so that's what I deployed this week, right? Is the fact that no, the proxy doesn't generate the text. That's why the mail I had before here was empty. But just pass the value along. And here we have a template, and in the request we load the template as bytes. And to prepare the body, we take that template, we replace the name with Bob for now. Then we also set up a subject and a body, and we transmit that further. And in the response we have changes, no. And in the lib, no. So I just gonna synchronize a bit things because I think that's maybe up to date here. I feel like I got lots of branch. Need a bit of a cleanup, right? Okay. Blah blah blah. Now we are good. And here if I compare, yeah, it's a bit cleaner. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I will build our backend, and we're gonna deploy it. It's Juno, what is it called? Upgrade, right? Yes. So Juno upgrade this file in a satellite. Ooh. Ah, yeah, that's accepted. It's because you can have multiple projects, and what I do is I split the encoded file for the CLI for demo so that I don't have to use the password manager. So I'm gonna go where those files are saved, and I gonna copy the config file, which is password all files are password protected, which I copy, which I use for Juno Live. And let's try again. Ooh, not still accepted. Ah, what? Ah, yeah, I was typing. Yeah, the issue was between the screen and the keyboard. I was typing a wrong password. So (7A) blah 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 490, 7A 490. So that's right, and we start the upgrade. Okay, so it has created a backup. Now it's upgrading. And it restarts the satellite. So here we should have. I did not extend. I did not implement the. I should have bumped the version. But let's try again. So here we're gonna call that. Doesn't matter because we have hard-coded Bob, right? But new try, select. All right, and we send. And if everything goes well, we get an email, you see, but without content. That's interesting. So there is something fishy somewhere. New answer on date pickers. Is that the right text? New answer on date picker. That's correct. But I did not get the body, which is a bit weird. body. In the proxy, I expect HTML, not body. So here, that's wrong. So we're gonna rename this to email HTML, and this is HTML, right? So fix body is HTML and unrelated, but we're gonna do that anyway. That's the version that is provided by Juno, but I can also have my own version here. So we're gonna bump that to version 2, right? So okay, and agreed. I'll try to type my password correctly this time. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, I could have skipped the backup. There is an option for that. If anyone is interested, just tell me. Oh, but actually it should be documented, no? Yeah, no backup. All right, so let's try again. Try. Okay, and here if we go, woohoo! Now we have our beautiful email. That's quite a success. Beautiful, perfect. As I said, that is something we should still improve, but yeah, anyway. And also here now, if I refresh, I guess I should have, you see here, I have version 2 now. All right, so let's, okay, that's something we can do in another pull request, but let's already merge this because it works out, right? So again, we are using React email to generate the templates, and we have added a script that generates the templates. Yeah, it takes the source, do the export, and then copy the template in a subfolder here. And then that's for the proxy. And here we just include the bytes, replace, and send. Super. Okay, so I'm gonna merge that. And we're gonna go to main. Okay. And here I'm just gonna pour custom satellite version. And now we are good. Okay. Cool. So that was for this function. We can continue updating the Bob another day. just before the live stream, Eric pinged me and asked when will the team, let's say that, team support in Juno ready. And we have indeed in the roadmap, which is always a bit like, yeah, the dates are there, but it's not necessarily what we're gonna do. But you see here we have security collaboration, which aims to bring the ability to have multiple developer person working on the same project. It's not gonna happen in this semester, scheduled for next, but let's see. But until then, there is kind of a workaround to do that anyway. It's not really the same, but kind of a workaround. So maybe we can try to set that, okay? And basically the idea is that you create an internet identity, and what you do is you create an account on Juno, and then you basically share that identity with multiple persons. It's like having an email and everybody knows the password, except that there is no password, so you're gonna use passkey. But that's basically what we're gonna do. So yeah, let's try to do that. So I'm gonna close a bit everything. Oh, I should review that. That's interesting. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the whole process of creating an entity and so on as it would be a new project. So here I go to this, and well, you see I've done some tests, but let's create a new one. Okay, so that's gonna be my number. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah. And I save. And now I have a mission control. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we go to identity.internetcomputer.org here. And I'm gonna sign in with this new identity that we just created. That was a nice number. Okay. And okay. And now here I can set up my device, recovery, and so on and so on. And here we're gonna say that's dubbed. Okay, I'm just gonna name the browser in which I'm using it. And now let's say that I want to make to share my my console with my friend. So to simulate that, I'm gonna use another browser. So I'm gonna use Chrome here. And what you're gonna do is basically you call your friends and you tell your friend, okay, let's take 5 minutes and let's set up an additional passkey here. So you call your friend, you do a session, and then I think you go to a new passkey. You copy the link and you give your friend the link, and your friend open the link in their browser. And actually, no, I'm gonna do so that I don't have it. I'm gonna do here. So they say, yes, I want to activate the passkey in this browser. Ah, Okay, no, indeed, I have to open a new browser, sorry. Oh, so they say yes. All right, so not today, I guess. So I would need like another browser. So let's try this one. Okay. Anyway, so they activate the passkey, and when it's done, here you're gonna have 2 entries, and then they can manage to use that passkey to sign in the console and share the same project, right? And if you need help, it's basically the same flow, except that you don't switch domain as setting up your internet entity on internetcomputer.com. It's basically the same flow, except that you don't switch domain, and just like your friend open the link and then they get a number and then you enter the number, and then because you have entered the number, then it's fine, they are set up with a new passkey. Okay, cool. So we still have a bit of time, so what I suggest that we do is we're just gonna update that Bob there, because otherwise I'm gonna have trouble to sleep. So here we have hard-coded Bob, but we actually want the name of the person that participate to the that answers the form, right? So that the doc, that's the notification, collection key, get doc store, and what do we have here? Notification, do we have a type for that? Answer data, no. Events, oh, I'm a bit lost. It's been a while since we did that. Yeah, it's that answer data. So we want this one, right? So here we got answer key. Oh, but here we got the document that is triggered here. So every time the document is set, it's an answer, we count and we send an email. And here I think that in after we have the document, right? And in the document we have the data. So we just have to build that, which is like this. So here we have answer key, let's say answer data, gonna be the context data dot after dot data dot after dot data. At least there is enough data, but that's the document afterwards. And here does it takes, yes, here it takes an answer data. I see. Yeah. Okay, so here, okay, Then here we're gonna pass down this answer data. Okay, blah blah blah. Here in post email we're gonna need this as well. So here we're gonna pass that down, and in the request we also want it. So here we're gonna do answer data, and here in the answer data we're gonna use that is the first name. Clone. Okay, so let's go bold. Yeah, I forgot to pass that. And let's wait. Okay, let's go. Oh. Every time I upgrade, I forget that I want to skip the backup because I want it to be a bit faster. Funny. So I don't have the things open anymore. So did I locked out before? Yeah, maybe. Here we have 4 answers, so we're gonna add one more. And yeah, I'm not gonna use, I was that close to use Bob. So let's use David live. Hello. Tac tac. Let's go. And let's see here if yeah, you see, it worked out. Okay, yes, great success. So use answer email, use answer first name. And super. All right, so I think we're gonna call it a wrap for today. So what we have seen, we have fixed our transform function, which was the something important. I'm gonna have to update the various example in the repo. And then we finished the implementation of the email templates that we started last week. So I will reference the previous episode in the description of the live. And then we added we replaced Bob by the first name. And we also had a quick look about that passkey that didn't work it out because I was on the same computer, but should work if you use the computer with your friends. Yeah, so that was for this week. If you have questions for next episode, just ping me and we're gonna continue to iterate. So enjoy your week. See you next time.